Right, my name is Shah. Most of my friends call me Shah. Presently, I'm the age of 31 and working as a sports and recreation manager in the hospitality industry and also a doctorate student. What actually enticed me to the bodybuilding sports is actually where I started at the age of 16 when I actually watched wrestling, and back then it was called WWF. And I was totally influenced by the men, those having good faces, good shoulders, good chest, and knowing that they actually exercise in the gym, and actually one of them competed in bodybuilding before. And that is one of the reasons why actually I decided to lift up the weights. And upon achieving such physiques, I decided to join a competition to see how far I can push myself to see where I stand among those young bodybuilders during that period of time. Okay, this is very subjective, I would say, regarding about bodybuilding and men's physiques. Bodybuilding is an era where I started actually, and throughout the time when the industry started to grow, all right, we can see that bodybuilding has started to get very demanding in terms of exercise, in terms of the attitude you need to put in, the time, the commitment. And I would actually give my salute to bodybuilders because the time and effort that they put in as compared to men's physiques. Despite that, I am a men's physiques competitor. I believe that the difference between men's physiques and bodybuilding are actually two different things. One is focused to size, to the quality and the depth of the muscle, while the other one is actually focused to aesthetic build. I was always into sports. Back in those days when I was in primary school and secondary school, I was actually more as a swimmer. But when I grew up, when I went to ITE, that's where actually I joined the gym and I decided to become a bodybuilder. We're looking at two aspects. I actually took a retirement of 11 years break due to my studies because I was doing my MBA and I was pursuing my doctorate also. So to take a look at during that period of time, of course, I like to enjoy my off-season because this is the only period of time where I'm able to grow. Yes, it can grow in either a bulky way where you put in fats at a higher percentage amount and muscles. But when you wanted to go for a photo shoot, of course, the on-season would be the best time to go for a photo shoot and to look good as like a summer body that we call it. I was totally shocked that I won the overall because it's been 11 years for me since I made my comeback, and making my first comeback to be the overall champion for Mr. Singapore Men's Physiques and overall champion for International Men's Physiques. I was totally honored to receive such a prestige elite pro card and to be a professional athlete within the IFBB industry. And I wanted to take my next step ahead is to actually compete in the IFBB Arnold Classic that will be held next year, and hoping to bring back a gold medal from a professional division. I'll break it up to two. One actually for the year-round supplementation that I took for myself, a daily multivitamin, that's most essential, a ZMA for me to get a good sleep, and at the same time for workout, I do take isolate protein. I will take the carbohydrates such as carbolene and also a pre-workout supplement to give an extra boost of energy for your workout, to sustain those kind of tiredness, and you are able to push yourself more during your workout. The most challenging part, I will making an assumption that I would say will be definitely the diet, because our body get adaptive too fast. And in order to shock the body and to understand the body, there's always a trial and error period. For instance, for my off-season, I like to take a lot of beef. But for on-season, beef doesn't respond to my body as it contains a lot of water retention. So instead, I take fish. So there's actually a perception where we need to understand our body in terms of what type of carbohydrate can we take, what type of protein should we take, how many grams of nutrition that we need to calculate our macros to ensure that we gain enough size and not to lose those muscle mass while dieting at the same time. And it's quite challenging. Okay, to say the benefit, I can put into two ways. One is actually a healthy lifestyle, because one of the main things that when you do bodybuilding or men's physiques in the gym, all right, when you carry weights, you're actually avoiding development of actually osteoarthritis and osteoporosis. And at the same time, you can actually gain more muscle mass to ensure that you are able to lift up heavier things, because throughout the day, sometimes there are some activities that you do weight carry at home, and also at the same time, it helps you to burn up your body fat. Because we can see that in Singapore, we do have a lot of people who have actually diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and being such an athlete gives me an advantage to actually improve my health from this point of view. Been competing in 2 intervarsity ITE competition, 2 nationals, and 1 Asian championship and 1 quadrangular bodybuilding championship. For all my nationals and my ITE, I got second position. And for the Asian Championship and the International Quadrilateral Championship, I actually got fourth position. And after coming back, making a successful comeback, I was able to get 5 gold medals in one night. And it was a huge success for me to make this comeback a real dream for me to get a gold medal. Due to my personal commitment that I faced during the period of time, and also because I furthered my studies, because I believe that education is an asset for me for my future. During the 11 years, 2 years I took a break because of my national service. And when I actually came back, so I started exercising, doing a progression training on hypertrophy pyramid training. And I do believe that due to my consistency of not stopping my exercise, it actually helps me to get my body more conditioned throughout the time. And this is one of the key points that you should not stop exercise despite the retirement, because the muscle condition and the muscle mass that you gain throughout the years is very valuable, and it cannot be gained in the shortest period of time. Well, there's a saying that some people assume that I can never be where I am now. I just want to prove to all those people that where I am now, what I'm capable, you tell me that I can't, and I'll prove to you that I can. All right, my advice to all those individuals, I would say that join in the fun, get in the activities, hit the gym, join the competition. Do not be afraid to lose, because failure is always a first step of success to me, because fail, I don't see it as a way that it's a bad, because it's like a first attempt in learning. Because if you don't do competitions, you do not know what your body gonna eat, how your body gonna react, what kind of food were you actually thinking that, oh, is this food gonna respond to my body? So I believe that throughout individual competitions, you start to learn. And every competition will actually give you an experience point where you learn something new throughout the time, and one day you will succeed in what you always want to do. And never rely on everybody else. Always believe in yourself, because you are your own hero. Nobody gonna be there to save you. Unfortunately, I don't have a partner, and I'm not looking into one right now, because I believe that individual success is based on yourself. People will be with you if they can benefit from you. When they can't benefit from you, they are no longer need you in your life anymore, because their loyalty with you is because they need you. Once they don't need you, they won't be with you anymore. One of the things that I tell them is not to give up. Do not listen what to the people say that you can't. Believe in yourself. Always do a proper research. All right. Number one main thing that people like to talk about everybody, and there's always a lot of haters out there. There's always a lot of supporters. You need to get a right group of people to actually surround with positivity vibe, that where they can actually push you, teach you. All right. Make sure that you gain your success in a proper way. And also, one of the key points that I would actually simply advise, that nutrition is the number one main key for you to lose weight. And for you to succeed in that, you need to understand what kind of food you need to eat. Number one main thing is that you can reduce down sugar, because it is not easy for you to actually cut down sugar 100%. But subsequently, throughout the time when you reduce sugar, you can actually see yourself that your body will be going lower and even lower as day passes by. And this is one of the main things that I want to actually advise those people who are obese to focus, that reduce sugar will be number one. Number two, you can actually change your carbohydrate. From a simple carbohydrate, from normal white rice, you can change to a lower glycemic index, such as basmati rice or brown rice. And as for white bread, you can change to multi-grain bread, because this kind of production of carbohydrates can actually either spike your insulin up level so high, or it actually give you a kind of moderate pace of insulin level. And the last advice I would definitely say is always to go to the gym, all right, at least 3 times a week. Do some weight training, all right. You need to get more muscles to burn more fats. And at the same time, you can do even cardio training to burn more fats percentage at every point in time after you exercise. Because after you exercise, when your carbohydrate glycogen is depleted, that's where it's the good time for you to lose more even fat when you're doing your cardio on a treadmill or even cycling. One of the main challenges bodybuilding industry in Singapore that is not being supported by most of our peers, fellow citizens in Singapore, but I can see that the industry is growing. One main thing is that the cost of living in Singapore is quite high because of the gym membership. The supplement prices are getting higher and higher as days passes by and years passes by. So one of the main things that I wanted to take a look is that stick to the basic supplement. You do not need to buy those expensive supplements or followed by brands. What you need is what you need to consume, not what you want. For instance, that protein is still a protein. Carbohydrate is a carbohydrate. Multivitamin is still a multivitamin. You don't need to buy expensive brand that's going to say, hey, this thing's going to work for you. At the end of the day, the essential vitamin C is still vitamin C. So this is my perception regarding about the bodybuilding industry today and what are the challenges that are being met because of the marketing gimmicks that's being done by supplementation organization. All right, I want to invite everybody who's watching this video to come to the show of strength. Number one main thing that this is going to be just not bodybuilding, not going to be man physics. There's going to be a lot of competitions that day, coming from arm wrestling, coming to pole dancing competition, coming down to even log lifting, strongman challenge. I want to invite everybody to come here because it's going to be a kind of festival, sports festival. We have mini expo and all of us are going to be there and you got actually come to see us and we're going to be there for you.